Hey there, hope all is well. Wanted to share a quick thought with you in regards to follow-up from my last interview with Alan Myers and the feedback that I've received in the comment section. So it seems like a lot of people resonated well with his message on the creation of currency. And so I just got a tweet a minute ago about the repo action that took place. So it looks like 77.6 billion and additional liquidity was provided. And so after having had a chance to speak with Alan and him break down the whole concept of how reserves are brought into existence and how reserves is not the same as printing money, it got me to thinking about where we're currently at now and where things are heading. So I wanted to share a thought. And so clearly what I can tell and what I imagine other nations are able to tell as well, because not only are they dealing with their own issues within their own system, but yet I believe we're witnessing, and it's been that way for a while now, but it's no reversal of the erosion of our current monetary system. And so basically with this erosion of the ability of central banks to keep that narrative going of everything is fine, the markets are great, and all that, mumbo jumbo they try to give us, the erosion of faith and confidence is well underway. And so it's just a matter of time before other nations also recognize that and began increasing their preparations for de-dollarizing. And so if you guys haven't, on the RTD blog, I posted a couple articles over the weekend about how China, hearing more and more about what they're looking to do, and as well as Max Kaiser just recently mentioned that he has some valuable, credible sources that let him know that he anticipates sometime in the near future China coming out and announcing that they are probably sitting on close to 20,000 tons or so or more in gold reserves. And he was saying how that's going to be the final nail in the coffin. So if you guys aren't familiar with that, go to the rethinkingthedollar.com/blog and you can see the information there. But the erosion of faith and confidence. And so our entire monetary system is based upon confidence and faith, and keeping majority of the population blind to the reality of our debt-based monetary system. And so with all this continuous repo activity, and so just as I mentioned in the tweet, 77.6 billion of liquidity or reserves was created for the banking sector to take on some of their quote unquote assets or their problems. And there's no end in sight. And so once again, it's going to be hard this month, especially this is the first full week of the month of November. And as I've mentioned before, it's clear as day that there's problems. There's clear as day that the foundations of our monetary system has been broken. And now it's a matter of patching this thing up as best as they can for as long as they can before they're forced to just acknowledge the fact that this thing is not working. And so with that being the case, once governments begin to lose confidence in the system, they themselves will begin doing all types of funny policies themselves. And what does that reflect? It reflects very poorly in the conventional financial advice that we're going to continue to receive from those that are heavily invested in the system, more so because their livelihood depends upon offering us products and services that keep this thing afloat. And so if confidence in the system is being eroded because of all this unprecedented monetary policy, and I'm not even talking about what's going to be coming soon when it comes to just the government expenditures, because this past weekend, once again, it's brought to my attention that we are over $23 trillion in government debt. Therefore, intragovernment, intergovernment, whatever, it's obligations that are expected to be paid back. But as Alan Myers mentioned, that from a bookkeeper, a mathematician standpoint, there's no way in the world it can be paid back. So that means that the only thing they can do now is to continue to do more of what they've been doing. Therefore, confidence and faith will become non-existent even more so. And so not only we got the repo action, but then also we're going to have the government action. Once again, don't be caught in the middle of all this hoopla. Once again, this is not financial advice. This is just one man's opinion. But if you know the system is rigged against you, you know that faith and confidence is what keeps this thing together, I would imagine that you're not as confident in the system as you used to be, now that you're awoke and realizing what's going on, that they're scrambling to keep this thing together. So once again, it's going to boil down to, once the government now takes on responsibility for their actions, and they are required to do more of the same themselves, which is to A, borrow and then tax more, then the Federal Reserve will have to come in and then increase reserves for their balance sheet as well. Therefore, there's going to be more problems, more Federal Reserve note type assets, liabilities, whatever you want to call them, brought into existence. And what does that mean? Those that save will lose guaranteed, because it's going to be more competition for the reserves you currently have, and all the products that you've been sold for your future investment purposes will have problems, because if there's no potential for growth, then how can those products return a yield? Nevertheless, your capital, your principal remains safe in an environment where liquidity becomes so readily available because of their need to keep the system together. So thought I would just share my thoughts. And so just the fact that the current Federal Reserve balance sheets is back up above $4 trillion in a time where we're supposed to be fine lets me know that things are not going well. And that, as I mentioned from months and months past, $4 trillion is what the balance sheet says now. But think about this. Once this narrative of an expansion ends, imagine how much they're going to have to add to that balance sheet, even further eroding faith and confidence in the Federal Reserve note, which is the primary instrument in all this situation that's being used to keep this system afloat. So once again, if you know what's going on, hopefully you are aware and taking action to protect yourself from this ongoing slaughter of this monetary system, that there will be, unfortunately, a lot of casualties of this monetary policy. But once again, if you are in tune, if you're aware, then you're all hopefully taking action and doing something outside the box. That's the best thing you can do, in my personal opinion. Other than that, thought I would share a quick thought. Leave a comment down below. Let me know what you think. And also, Alan Myers, he's coming back on because he has a lot more to share with me, with you guys as well. And so he's going to break down the nitty gritty. So I wanted to give you guys a heads up. He'll be back on, I think, next week. He's some things this week going on. But then this week also is going to be a great week. I got a couple great guests that I know you guys are going to want to see. So make sure you tune back in. If you're new to the channel, click the subscribe button and the thumbs up so you'll be notified. More than likely, YouTube may not notify you, but I'm going to try to keep you informed as the day rolls along. But other than that, hope all is well. Enjoy the rest of your day. See you guys soon. Peace.